Well, welcome to Yeshiva Daf. We're holding in Menachos Daf Ayin Base. We're starting in the second line in Ayin Base Amud Aleph. Zok Gemara Koitrim Lipnei Hanetiois. Maybe they're in the back, right here. Maybe there. We have three things why you could do harvest. So we saw that one of them is the netios. Netios could be one of two explanations. Either he's talking about, Rashi brings two explanations. Either talking about the netios means because you have, it's not very good quality because it's among the trees, or the netios is because it is a problem of kilayim. So you have to cut out because of kilayim. Then it becomes a mitzvah. We'll see the community in the Gemara. Based on all, you need a place for a shiva call, for a shiva house, or based on that should be to learn. My time, what's the reason? K'tzir mitzvah has to be k'tzir if you do it for your own purpose. But if you do it for a mitzvah, so then it's okay. I'm based on Udaf right there in the time. So what does it mean k'tzir mitzvah? So according to Rashi, that depends on two explanations. Are you talking about the last two cases of the base Oval and base Mishnah and base Medrash? Or are you talking also about the Tiyos? If the Tiyos is Kilayim, so you talk about that as well. So you can't make bundles out of it, but you leave it together, not tied up. My time we try our best not to work so hard on the Chodosh grade. Because the mitzvah is to bring it from the standing grain. It says if you're going to do michas bikurim, there is a mitzvah to bring it from a standing grain connected to the ground. You can bring from the ones that were harvest. That's takriv and additional krov. It's good to be from the moist grain. Meaning moist means like it's not dry. So yovi mina yovish. Takriv. Any type of a krova. Tavarachet takriv v'shvitzos liktzor b'laylo. Minayin sheniktzor b'yom kosher. V'doiches Shabbos. Talmud loymar takriv. Right. So you see also takriv. And that's what Gemara says.
Why is that last why is combine niktzor b'yom and doiches Shabbos?
Oh, so we'll get to that in one moment. This happens to be the Daf Yomi Yerushalmi of today. It's Pele. Daf Yomi Yerushalmi. But if we want to get to it, is the daf of the daf Yomi today or Yerushalmi is Rosh Hashanah David base. It's mamish. This daf is a this thing. So together. So it says like this. Talmud Lama takriv kolshu, even a small amount. Takriv meaning kolshu means not small amount. Sorry, even if it's detached. Takriv mikol makom. Anywhere, even if it's away from Yerushalayim. Takriv fil b'Shabbos, takriv fil b'Tuma. So you learn any way that you're able to get that krova, you get that krova. Right. So if you see the gears here, it's important when Mo is pointing out. If you look at the parentheses, it's either two drushes, takriv by niksav yom kosher, to takriv. Toich is a Shabbos takriv. So it's two things. Or we read it as one thing. It's Bayom V'Derech Shabbos, which we'll get to in a moment. Says the more Niktzar Bayom Kosher. V'anan Kol Laila Kosher L'Ktzir Soimer. You're allowed to do Ktzir the entire night. Ulaktir Chalovim Ve'evorim. You put on the Mizbeach, the fat and the limbs. Ze'aklal Dova Shemitza Kol Hayom Mitzvah Kol Hayom Kosher Kol Hayom. Whatever the mitzvahs to do during the day, you can do the entire day. Dova Shemitza Sos B'Laylo Kosher Kol Hayom. Ktani Lailo during the Yom. Compare night to the day. Mad the Yom B'Laylo Loy. Whatever you do in the day, you're not allowed to do in the night. And all mitzvahs of the day, you can't do it on the night. After Laila B'Yom Nami Loy. So the same way you compare the night to the day. Whatever's a mitzvah of the night, you can't do in the day. Omar Rabbi Lekasho. This, by the way, is interesting nekuda that the Vilna Goyen in the beginning of the Haggadah Pesach, the first thing he says, right in the beginning, Manishtano Halaylo Hazeh. So he says because Lailo should have been Lashon Hakevo, Halayla Hazois, but it's Laila Hazeh because of Leil Pesach is called Laila Hazeh. Why? Because usually there's no mitzvahs at night, There's only mitzvahs during the day. Now we have a special thing of a mitzvah at night. But interesting enough, the Gemara tells us over here if Tzir Soim is mitzvah at night. There's one of the many questions on the going, but some mitzvahs we have at night. Here's one of them. What?
Can't do during the day.
That's not a mitzvah. It's not a mitzvah d'oraisa. It's a didrabban. Yeah, there's. I mean, it's obvious shoes. It's not the same level. Says the Gemara. What we have? The question is the mitzvah do in the night or not? Says the Gemara. This is the someone who's in other words. So in that Mishnah's mashra, you cannot do ktsira in the day. The only time you can do ktsira soimer is in the night. Can't do it in the day. And our Mishnah it says you can do it in the day too. So how do you reconcile these two Mishnahs? Says the Gemara, it's machlekes Rabbi Elazar v'Shimon. What is it? Person is makriv minchas oimer. V'nitmes became tummy. Im Yeshecheres, if there's another one, meaning if he has, he can bring another oimer, meaning even b'mechuber. Omer lo ave'acheres tachtel. So then you tell him, switch it. If now you tell him, just be quiet. Why? It's too much betzibur. But if I have another option, bring another option. If I don't have another option, just don't make a fuss out of it.
It's better to do the ktsira, do another ktsira rather than relying on
Tumah. Can you do ktsira? Because according to Rebbe, ktsira in the day is also good. The mikra mitzvah is in the night. If you do it in the day, it's also fine. They tell him be silent. So if you're harvesting the oimer in the wrong time, possible. You have to do it the night only. Can't do it in the day. So we have machlekes. Rabbi Elazar v'Shimon, can you do ktsira in the day or not? According to Rabbi, you could. According to Rabbi Elazar v'Shimon, you can't. So that the Gemara says the machlekes. Elazar v'Shimon is going in the sheet of his Rebbe Kiva. Rabbi Shlovi, Rabbi Kiva, the Rebbe of his father. Because Elazar, Rabbi Shimon, so Elazar, the son of Shimon, Bar Yochai, who was a Talmid of Rabbi Kiva. What is it? So rule number one, anything that you could do on Erev Shabbos, you're not do on Shabbos. So anything I'm allowed to do before, anything which is possible to do at a different time, don't do it on Shabbos. Right? I mean, even if you have like bris milah, you have to bris milah on Shabbos, but you're now allowed to prepare the knife on Shabbos because you can do it before. In addition, he has the Rabbi Shmuel that holds Tzir Soim is a mitzvah. Where does Rabbi Shmuel say these words is a mitzvah? It says they have to be on Shemitah. You're not allowed to plow or harvest the field, but you learn one from each other. The same way plowing is always going to be rishus. There's no such thing as plowing for a mitzvah. And we'll discuss a different place why you don't see if you should plow for the oimer. You don't have to plow. The mitzvah is only there's never going to be a mitzvah to plow. So also ktsira needs to be a non-mitzvah one. But if I have a ktsira of a mitzvah, you're allowed to do in Shemitah. What we're talking about? Which ktsira is a mitzvah? Ktsira is oimer. Ktsira oimer she mitzvah. So that's what Rabbi Shmuel says. If you hold that niktzah shaloik mitzvah, when you did it a different day, it's kosher. In my dochi Shabbos, niktzah me'ev Shabbos. So why is dochi Shabbos? I said Shemitah before. The pasuk here it says Shabbos. Meaning, it's also there's a discussion if it's Shemitah dafka also Shabbos, but what we need for is for Shabbos. And then we said that Rabbi Shmuel said you could do b'chor shukatz tishbos. Don't plow or plant on Shabbos, except for Tzir Sabayim. You can do it because it's a mitzvah. Why is it a mitzvah? Because I can't do it before. Because according to Akiva, anything I can do before, I'm not allowed to do on Shabbos. So can I harvest before or not? The fact I'm telling you can do on Shabbos tells me you can't harvest before. So from here is a raya that I can't do Ktsir at a different time except the specific time that was told to do, which is the night. Can't do a different time. So you see, if it's not, you don't do the Ikar mitzvah, it's possible, which the Ikar mitzvah is for sure the night. That's the Shita of Elazar v'Shimon. Says the Gemara of Rebbe Lav Tamid Rabbi Shimon. What do you mean? You're saying Elazar goes according to Rabbi Shimon, his father. Rebbe also should go according to Rabbi Shimon because it's his Rebbe. How do we know Rabbi Shimon is the Rebbe of Rebbe? when we learned Torah with Reb Shimon in the city called Koya, we used to bring oil. And loinosis is like a towel, kerchief, something to take with the oil. From the courtyard to the roof. And from the roof, we took it to a karfif, which is an enclosed area. From one closed area to another closed area. Until we brought it to the river. In other words, how do you carry? Not allowed to carry. So they carried by going down into Rosh Hashanah. So they saw like and that's what they did in front of Shimon. So in order to get, because he were learning Torah about Shimon, he just said, how did we bring the oil from place to place on Shabbos? But what do you see from here? You see the Rebbe, the Talmud of Shimon. So why is Rebbe not going with Shimon that says that there goes should go and live there Rabbi Akiva? They could do Shabbos. I don't do on Shabbos.
Can we make sick on Shabbos?
What?
How can you use oil on Shabbos?
Yeah, it depends for what purposes. But regular anointing you could do. Says the Gemara. So Saval Keitach Rabbi Shimon, meaning Rabbi holds like a different Rabbi Shimon. There's two Rabbi Shimons. One Rabbi Shimon is what we said that being Rabbi Shimon and Rabbi Akiva, based on Rabbi Akiva, had told us that anything you could do on Shabbos, anything you could do before Shabbos is now doing Shabbos. There's another Rabbi Shimon. It says the time of Rabbi Shimon boy rei kama chaviva mitzvah b'shaito. Look as beautiful it is a mitzvah to do in the right time.
The first Reb Shimon over here, just because
it's not Reb Shimon, Talmud Reb Akiva.
Meaning it's Reb Lezer, Reb Shimon, who was the
going and living Reb Akiva.
Right, and they're going.
Meaning, because Reb Shimon is the Talmud Reb Akiva, they're assuming going to Reb Akiva, which is a little strange in the Gemara. Usually,
it's Reb Shimon's son. It's Reb Lezer, Reb Shimon.
Yeah, so it says Reb Lezer holds like Reb Shimon, his father, who was a Talmud of Reb Akiva, and he goes like Reb Akiva. Yeah, so the more Rebbe is a Talmud of Reb Shimon, she also goes like Reb Akiva, but the Gemara is sticking to Reb Shimon. Says the Gemara,
because one is. Reb Lezer is the son of Reb Shimon. Rebbe is the Talmud
of Reb Shimon. Yeah, says the Gemara, the Tanya of Shimon, boy, mitzvah. Look how great is the mitzvah at the right time, not to move the time. To put on the mizbeach fat and limbs is you can do the whole night, right? Because that's what we said. It's the first Mishnah in Shas. You can leave the whole night. But when Shabbos, when you did a korban on Shabbos, you didn't wait to put the fat in the evening. You did the fat right away on Shabbos itself.
Usually you could have did it like you gotta wait.
I can't wait till the Shabbos. So what do you see over here? You see what is going to say? Yeah, of course, whatever you could do before Shabbos should do. But when I'm doing a mitzvah, there's a concept of doing chavim mitzvah shai to do mitzvah at the right time. But when I'm doing a machshiri milah, I don't have a certain time to do it. So don't do it on Shabbos. But if I have a certain time to do it, don't try to make it a different time. So comes Rebbe and says, K'tzir Soim is supposed to be the night of Tetzayim and Yisod. If it's Shabbos, do it then. It says the Gemara, if I'm B'Yisrael base, if Loza was Shimon L'Shmi Ali, Loza Shimon did not hear this from his father, why he disagrees? So the one is different. Shani also Shari Dochto Shchita as a Shabbos. Tell you why? Because the Shchita was Doich Shabbos, meaning, like, what happened here with the korban? Shchita was already done on Shabbos. So once I did Shchita on Shabbos, I can finish the mitzvah and do the Imurim on this back too. But here I didn't start yet. I'm going to do Ketzira. Should I start the Ketzira on Shabbos or not? I don't tell you to do. Says more of the Rebbe, Hachanami Dochta Shchita as a Shabbos. Rebbe, so what is Rebbe's raya? You will agree with this svara.
It's a little funny. You haven't done the shchita yet, but you know you're going to have to do the shchita during the day.
Yeah, shchita during the day. So once you do shchita during the day, they're not telling you now, wait with the fat till the night.
I'm saying you're saying the svara by the case of Shabbos. Well, okay, you're already done because you already brought the korban, so we'll let you
finish.
We'll let you finish it. And as opposed to over here, since you haven't done the shchita yet, but you
not shchita. We're talking about Ketzira. Ketzira Soimer.
Right, but I'm saying, but it's dependent on because you're gonna have to bring them. We're talking about what happened. You didn't do the. You're supposed to do Ketzira at night. You didn't do the.
No. We're talking about now. It's the opposite case. By Ketzira, we're talking about if I could do Ketzira at night. If the night is Shabbos, just do it before Yom Tov.
Right, but we're talking about you didn't do it.
No. We're talking about the before the fact. Because that's the other case. Like I said before, if you hold that you have a mitzvah to kaitze, but you could do it before Yom Tov. Do it before Yom Tov. You're talking before the case. They didn't start yet. Says the Gemara. Kasova Rebbe, Ktsira Soimer, Loy Dacha Shabbos. Says Rebbe, no, he just holds. It's not Dacha Shabbos. Very simple. Meaning, Rebbe holds that you should do it at night, but it's not Dacha Shabbos. So we had a Mechlex before. If I could do it on, can I change the time? Can I change the time? So Rabbi Yeshiva says no, it has to be done only night. If you didn't do it night, it's not good. And Rebbe holds you could change the time, right? Before we said, yeah. So Rebbe says you could bring you could do it during the day. So Zagor said according to Rebbe they could do it during the day, so don't do it on Shabbos. So we'll try to say the reason why I do it on Shabbos because Chavim Mitzvah Shaito. So Chavim Mitzvah Shaito doesn't apply only if you start a mitzvah. Right? They didn't start yet. So well, you're right. According to Rebbe, you can't do that on Shabbos. Says the Gemara of Eloi, not the Shabbos, but Nan. We said at the beginning of the parak that you brought it on Shabbos as well for 3 saying. What about the next quote? With 3 baskets. And 3 people. So I b'shalosh kubas 3 baskets, b'shalosh baglus 3 sickles. The like Rebbe. Or b'Shabbos oimer Shabbos he skips out. Is it Shabbos? They say yes. The like Rebbe. All that's like a Rebbe. According to Rebbe, can't do it in Shabbos. Okay. So that was, first of all, the Gemara is telling us. Continues the Gemara. Niktzar bayoim kosher v'doiches Shabbos. When you harvest in the day, you can do it even on Shabbos. Okay? Even on Shabbos. I mean, the night at doiches Shabbos, we said it's a machlekes. According to Abel, you could do it. Of course, it's the day also you could doiches Shabbos. So the Gemara, Shabbos lay, to omar niktzar bayoim kosher. Who said that you could do ktsir bayoim? Lots of Yeshiva is the one who said you can't do ktsira today. He said the only time you can do ktsira is in the night. That's why if it became Tameh, don't bring another one. The only time you can do ktsira is the night. So you can't be lots of Yeshiva. So where's the Rebbe? And it says you can do on Shabbos. Shabbos. My love ktsira. Talk about ktsira. When it says nikza bayom kosher v'doiches Shabbos, doiches Shabbos refers to ktsira. So kasha, what we said according to Rebbe is not doiches Shabbos. So we'll loy la krova. No, we're talking about krova. Krova you could do in Shabbos. Have a ktsira loy. Fa'atari the Rebbe says Rebbe Yoimer Redam Moishes Moadei Hashem Matu B'Loimer. Fishlo Manu LeTomid UPesach Shinamar B'Moyado B'Moyado. It says the Torah Pesach B'Moyado. Tell you has to be in its time, regardless if it's Shabbos or not. Moyado. This is Moyado. Sorry. Moyado for the Shabbos. Moyado for the Betumo. Shar Kabbalah Tzivu Minay. How do you know all the Kabbalahs you can do on Shabbos? If you need to, if that's the date. Tomud Loimer Tasul Hashem B'Moyadechem in your Moyad. Minay Rabbos Oimer V'Akor V'Imoy. How do I know Oimer and She'alecha can be Shabbos as well? So we had the Yeshiva, all of them we had him. Even the one, even this, as we'll see in a moment. Lemay. Either Melach Krov, you talk about putting on the Mizbeach. She'alecha B'nei Akrov. What do you mean She'alecha V'Akor V'Imoy? Kor V'Imoy goes on the Mizbeach. She'alecha was not going on the Mizbeach. Elab Shitul Tchino V'Akada. Elab talk about grinding and sifting. What's the Malacha Bayomer equivalent to that? Like 0. Fikadach is a Shabbos. You see, it is the Shabbos. Says Oimer la Kravo, Shtel Lechem Lafiyu. Oimer is that Kravo. And therefore, that's the Shabbos, that Kravo. Like any other Karbonis. And Shtel Lechem talking about baking. Why is baking allowed? Because some Rebbe Tanur Mekadesh. What makes it Kaddish is the oven. We saw a shita like that before. And if the oven makes it Kaddish, so I can't do it the day before because it will become Pasobelino. So I have no choice but to bake it on Shabbos. So baking is part of the basic Gdosha of the Shtel Lechem. So I do it on Shabbos. By Oimer, whatever I curve, I do it, but I'm not doing the rest. Says it was Sover Rebbe Tanur Mekadesh. He holds the Tanur makes Kaddish, that's why I can't do it. We learned earlier. With Shchita. So we saw before. If you did Shchita and Zrika properly, Lishma, Kiddush Alechem. the bread becomes kaddish. Shach the shloish one is like don't shloish one, both shloish one like the shalach. Shach the shloish one is like don't shloish one, the shchita lishma benadz riko lishma halach kaddish v'ene kaddish the Rebbe. Remember we saw before the whole sugya. What does it mean? It's kaddish to a certain degree. Was Shimon Aimer loyal v'ene kaddish achi shach the shvam is like don't lishma. Was Shimon always have to do shchita and zriko lishma. Sorry, that was the machlokas there. But what do you see? You see that shchita makes a kaddish. Not the tanur. Says sorry. It's what makes a kadosh is the tanur. But to be kriveya that's connected to these animals is the shchita. Shchita connects them together. That's what kvu means. Kvu means Rashi says, look the last Rashi of the parak. Shachtam lishmon zog dosh lishmon hu kvu achas lo yisum kvasim. Can't change it. So that's all you get. The kedusha is an oven, but the kvius is with the shchita. That's what he says over here. So Yemei Gemara doesn't says it includes no raya. So it comes out like this. Our sugya holds that those of Shimon says you could do ktsira at night only, and it's the Shabbos. Rabbi holds you could do ktsira night or day, but it's not the Shabbos. Not the Shabbos. Neither of them is not the Shabbos. So when our Mishnah comes and says, if you look at our Mishnah, back to our Mishnah, in the Fainav Mudalef, it says, mitzvah so likzor balaylo, the mitzvah do in the night, nikzar bayoim kosher, and then it says doiches Shabbos. What does it mean? So this Mishnah is good like Rabbi. That's what the Gemara concluded. And it means you can do ktsir night and day, but it's not doiches Shabbos. Doiches Shabbos talking about that krovel. Okay, that's what it is. The Yushalmi of today's daf, meaning Monday's daf, is Rosh Hashanah daf Yud Beis in the new Oizvoder edition. The Yushalmi has a discussion about that exactly. Are you allowed to do when you're doing? Are you allowed to do Ktsir Saimer in the day and it's Doiches Shabbos? And the Yushalmi concludes that you could do it in the day and it's Doiches Shabbos. That's the Yushalmi concludes. And this adds to the Rama because the Rama paskins that you could do Ktsir Saimer night and day and it's Doiches Shabbos. They're both. So the first we asked, what do you mean? Our Gemara said it's either only night and Doiches Shabbos or both. It's not Doiches Shabbos. So he says it goes like the Yushalmi, Rosh Hashanah, the holds you could do both. Interesting thing. Let's go a few more lines down. Took the Mishnah. The following menachos you can do kmitza, and the leftover goes to the kohen. What is it? You have a list. Minchas asoilis, which means the mincha of that you bring you do bring a isa of asoilis. The amachos, the one which is done on the pan. Number 2. Number 3 is amacheshes, which is the one which has in a pot. The achalois, which comes in thicker wafers. Parakikim, smaller wafers, that's 5. Minchas otikachavim of a guy. Minchas nashim of a woman. Minchas oimer that we spoke about. Minchas chayte, someone who does a chet and he doesn't have money, brings a minchas chayte. Minchas kanoit of the saita. These are the list of 10. Shimon oimer minchas chayte shekoyanim nikmetzes. Vekoyim itzkorv la'atzo v'shirayim krevim la'atzmon. So Shimon says that minchas chayte of koyanim, you do kmitza. So Rabbanon did not bring this to the list because there's no kmitza there. Everybody holds the Minchas Koyanim goes fully on the mizbeach, but the shayla you do kmitza now. Rabbanon say you don't do kmitza. You just take the whole mincha, the whole flour, put it on the mizbeach. Rabbi Shimon says no, you do kmitza, and then you have kmitza, you have shirayim, but both go on the mizbeach. Okay, we'll see more about that later. This we saw before already. This is the 3rd time we bring it. The non-esert now. Whenever it says a list, it's the list of 10. My kamash Shimon doma mechza chaos mechza kikim yovi kamash v'doloi. According to Shimon, you could bring a mincha which is half chalos, thicker breads, and half a rikiki which is wafers. We don't say that. Why not? So there's 2 pshatim in Rashi. Either because we said 10 means it has to be 10 pieces and not 5 and 5, so be 10 of the same piece, or there's a list of 10, not 11. According to this is 11th minute. Start the next sugya, just get a few more lines. Same with shiyorim lekoyani, leftover goes to koyani. We know lechtivo ketivo. Whatever is written is written. mean, wherever it says that you give the Shirayim l'Koyanim, you give the Shirayim l'Koyanim. The Ksibo, well, like the one that's not read the Ksibo, so star samincho, hakrev so bnei Aaron, faniseres v'menu yechlu Aaron avonov. So it says whatever you do kvitza, and the leftover goes to Koyanim. So that's the pasuk. Well, bochiti l'kavibayla. I know about wheat. Kikabayla boy soirim when it goes barley. But soirim nami minikbetza shirei l'Koyanim. If you do kvitza, the shirei goes to Koyanim. Now leave it there, boy l'kavibayla, because they hold if you have kvitza, the leftover goes to Koyanim. According to Shimon, there is a way to do kmitza, but it won't be eaten. Right? The Dam Shimon That's the end of the Mishnah. You could do kmitza, but you won't eat it. So maybe soy we do kmitza, you don't eat. Whatever has oil and not oil goes to Bnei Aaron. Because I already know wheat. Then we have the blue sorry, we talk about blue of barley. To drive chiti, so here you learn the two menachos of barley, the minchas ha'omer and the mincha of chayte, that they both come barley, they both have kmitza, and the shrine goes to the Koyanim, and will this was time. I'm a soita. I'm not chayte, soita. Or barley. And they both, you do kmitza, the shrine goes to the Koyanim. Stop over here, and this will end the daf today.